Alright, what's up YouTube? Two Guns Tony. We're going to breakfast. I'm hungry. I got a taste for something specific. So we're going to Home Sweet Home. It's this tiny breakfast place here in Escondido. I hear they got outdoor seating. What I'm most interested in is their country skillet. Some of you know, maybe I've mentioned it on the channel or in other discussions elsewhere, that I'm from the Midwest. And one thing that's big in the Midwest and the South is these country skillets, these breakfast skillets. You see them at Denny's, but they're not like the real thing. This is like the real thing. That's what we're going for. I need a country skillet, homemade, fresh country skillet. It's not really homemade because I'm going to a restaurant, but it tastes homemade. I'm gonna meet up with my friend Matt, who's not on a bike, but who's thinking about getting a bike. He should get a bike. That'd be great. More people on twos, the better. I got another friend that's gonna get on a bike, maybe. I don't know. He says he wants to. So I told him I'd go take the rider's course and everything with him and help him shop for a bike. We'll see. We'll see. And I think it'd be a cool series to do on this channel, is like how to be a beginning rider, or like how to help your friend start riding. I think that'd be a cool series. I don't know, we'll see. There we go. Just tuck it right in here so I don't have to take up someone's parking spot. All right, let's see what we got. So we're gonna go on one of my favorite rides out here in San Diego, specifically North County, San Diego. It's the Julian Pie Run. This is one of those things where I don't know much about it. What's up with the Julian pies and the apples there? But it's really good. I like going up there. And so do a lot of people. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic and everything going on, I'm not really certain what's actually going on up there. I don't even think I've been up there since this whole lockdown has been in effect. Maybe I have, but I didn't stop and get pie like I normally do. But we're gonna head up the mountain. I'm gonna mix it up with some time lapse in here. Try to do some music editing in here too as well. Mix in some audio. And my discussion, so that you're just not watching me ride, is top 5 bikes that I would like to buy. What would be my top 5 bikes that I would consider adding to this channel, adding to my garage, and we'll talk about sort of the pros and cons of each one and why I want them. All right, here we go. All right, well, here we are at the bottom of 78 coming out of San Pasqual Valley. We're gonna get going on some twisties here, and I'm gonna talk to you about 5 bikes that I'd like to add to my channel, add to my garage, have in general. These are bikes that I've never had in the past, so I have no experience riding them at all. I don't even think I've test ridden any of these vehicles. That's wrong. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Alright, so if you're new here, this is Two Guns Tony. That's me. I ride a 2020 Harley-Davidson Low Rider S that I'm absolutely in love with and wouldn't trade another bike for. Seriously, I'm going to talk about 5 bikes I'd want to add. I would not trade my bike for any of these 5 bikes. These are just 5 other bikes that I would like to have one day. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, number 1 bike I would like to have is, and this is kind of an odd one, I think Shade Tree Surgeon classified it as an A-class hipster bike, is the Harley-Davidson FXR. Now, I don't know a lot about these models. Couldn't begin to tell you the different sort of model codes, like on the Softails. This is a FXLRS. I couldn't tell you anything about a Dyna. I couldn't tell you anything about a Harley-Davidson FXR. Other than, you know, the dual rear suspension, dual shocks externals, the body frame is very different than other previous Harleys and present Harleys. You know, I guess it's designed by Buell, which I'm familiar with the company, not familiar with the whole history of the bike. I just think they look really cool. Those of you that I've talked to, either in comment sections or around in other motovloggers videos, I'm from the Midwest, specifically around the Illinois-Wisconsin border, and those were the bikes that I seen a lot growing up. A lot of people were on FXRs, and it's instantly recognizable as a Harley-Davidson. I guess I didn't appreciate them a lot as a kid, as much as I do now, but I definitely do appreciate them now, and I like them. And I would get one, and I would totally want it to be like a throwback from the era. Like, I mean, I want the chrome. I'm not a big fan of chrome, but I would want it chromed out and everything. I need the chrome. I need the golden eagles. I don't need it to be crusty. As a matter of fact, I don't want it to be crusty like Shade Tree's Crusty Glide. But I definitely do want it to be sort of like that kind of bike when it goes down cruising grand, or when you ride it around town. You know, people recognize that it's from another era. It's from a different time, and there's a lot to be said about that kind of style of bike. You know, I think there's a lot of interest in it, so I definitely have a lot of interest in it. So yeah, I'm thinking of like an 86 to like a 94. I think FXR would be cool to add to my garage. Okay, let's go to the next bike. So dudes, well, there's a couple ADV bikes, and that brings me to the next bike that I would like to own. And it's not really an ADV bike, but I guess it is. I don't know. It's kind of a bike in its own class, but I have a special connection with it. It's the Kawasaki KLR 650. Yes, the KLR 650. It is the sort of, I don't even know how to describe it. I think it's just a niche bike. Like, I try to, like, looking them up. You don't see a lot of them for sale on the internet, but when you do, they're pretty cheap. I like that. I like the price on them. They don't make for great adventure bikes, but they do make for decent adventure bikes, I guess. I see a lot of people off-roading them and doing stuff like that, and that's something that I like to do. On my Jeep Wrangler, I like to go off-road. I like to go explore trails on federal property, federal lands out here in California. I mean, federal land is all over the place. If you're from out west, I mean, it's all federal lands for the most part. All these open areas. Very few of this is private property. Once you get out past basically where we're going right now. I have a Jeep Wrangler that I like to take out on the trails too. It's not lifted. It's not like a big rock crawler. It is a Rubicon, but it's definitely not lifted, or it still has stock tires on it. And I like taking it off-road, going to little hunting spots and everything out here. little spots to go plinking. But I always think it'd be cool to have a motorcycle that could do that too. Like have a motorcycle. There's a lot of trails also on my Jeep that I just won't do. Because, you know, if I wreck my Jeep, man, that's big money. And then it's got to get towed out from back here. I mean, that's big money. You know, if I happen to roll my Jeep or something like that. But if I got like a little Kawasaki KLR, I drop it, oh well. You know, the repairs on it are pretty cheap. I can get a friend out here with a pickup truck to load it in the back of if I really break it to the point where it won't start or won't move. But they look pretty durable. Matter of fact, they have to be durable because this is one of the bikes that I have ridden in the past. This is a bike that I have rode in the past. And so where did I ride a KLR 650? Well, that would be in the Marine Corps. I took a quick little, they thought we were going to be using these bikes a lot for desert reconnaissance out in Iraq. We didn't end up using them. I don't even think we took them to Iraq, to be honest with you, but I did have to go to a little, basically off-road riders course. It was like a little 2-week course. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a heap of fun. It was a heap of fun that I had out there in 29 Palms, riding these KLR 650s from the Marine Corps. Awesome bikes, awesome bikes. And I mean, those things, we were running them 130 degree temperatures, 130, I don't know, that's probably exaggeration. It felt like 130, but well over triple digits out there in 29 Palms, and just eating it up. Those bikes were awesome. They were so fun, and I would just love to have one, you know, strap some ammo cans on it, you know, do the whole vet bro thing to it, you know, just turn it into a complete reflection of what I remember about the KLRs. I like those bikes a lot. We're going to do one more top bike that I would own, and then I'm going to set it on time lapse for a little bit as we get closer up to Julian. The next bike I'd like to own or add to my garage, add to this channel, is a Honda Grom. I stinking love the Honda Grom. They're just so fun. And I actually, this is one of the bikes that I have test rode. I took it on a test ride a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty serious about getting one of these. I'm just, you know, waiting to make a move, trying to, you know, piece that money together. And I'm definitely thinking about adding a Honda Grom. I'm going to add a Honda Grom to this channel eventually, just for reasons. But I like them. They're really fun. I mean, it's a 125cc bike, and you know, you just go all over the internet and you can see people doing all sorts of hooligan. It's just a hooligan bike, you know, and just goof around on it. I want to learn to do some wheelies. Something I'm not comfortable doing on my Harley, but you know, I grab a Honda Grom, you know, $3,500 Honda Grom, brand new. Put some good tires on it, and start learning how to do nooners, man. You know, worst case scenario, I drop that bike. I mean, what am I gonna do? Maybe $300-400 worth of damage to it. You know, I drop this bike, we're talking thousands dollars, and I don't want to drop this bike, so definitely not learning my wheelies on here. But I am gonna do some wheelies on the Grom. That's one of the reasons why I want the Grom. So yes, Honda Grom is number 3. Okay, I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna turn it to time lapse for a little bit. We're gonna get a little farther up the mountain, and I'm gonna give you the last 2 bikes that I would like to own. All right, catch you in a minute. All right, let's get these last 2 bikes that I'd like to own, add to the channel, have in my garage, and generally enjoy. All right, number 2. And this one is, well, I'll just tell you what it is. It's a little bit of an odd one. the Indian FTR 1200, the S model, or the one that's got the race stuff on it. Not that I'd ever use it as a race bike or a flat track bike, as it was designed after. I just don't see the sense in buying a base model. If you're not going to customize it out, which I would not do. I think the bike looks beautiful just as is. Maybe just throw some exhaust on it. What's up, man? Guy catching some shade in there. But yeah, that FTR 1200, I almost ended up on a 1200 instead of a Low Rider S. I thought about it when I was going to pay the price that I was going to pay for the bike. I said, well, dang, I could get this one, but it came down to ride position for me and the versatility of the bike. It's a comfortable bike for a few hours. After that, I could see myself getting rather uncomfortable with the riding position and the way that the suspension was set up. It's very sporty. Similar to like how my Thruxton was, my old Thruxton, the cafe bike I used to have that was never on this channel. But I really like that FTR. I mean, that's a cool bike. Tons of power, all the technology to go with it. It's cool. It's definitely one of my, like I said, top 5 bikes that I would like to have. All right. Ooh. Tried to miss that piece of roadkill. Oh man, I love this spot up here. This is a Julian station. So in here, you got like a pizza place over there. Over here, you got like it's called the cooler. It's like a little bottle room. You can go get a couple beers. There's also a good taco shop in the back, and Julian hard ciders in there. Good stuff. Over here, you got archery and axe throwing. It's also a antique show every now and then in there. This is Julian Station. This is really cool. I like this place a lot. This is where the pizza is. Really good pizza here. Good stuff. Just out here in the middle of nowhere. All right. Now for the #1 bike that I would like to have. All right, and I hope I don't get too much crap for this. I think it's a good bike. Hello, I hope you're stopping. Coming up there real fast. I hope I don't get too much crap for this. I am a big fan of this bike, and I know a lot of people aren't. But I think it would be a really cool bike to add to this channel and a moto vlog from. I think it would be the only moto vlog on YouTube with this bike. Now, a lot of moto vloggers have done test rides on this bike and have done reviews on this bike, but you don't get that like long-term, like day-to-day experience with the bike. And that bike is, as I'm dragging this out, the Harley-Davidson Livewire. Okay, pause a second. Let's think about this. Why is it #1 on my list? Well, I kind of already talked about it. It's, you don't see a lot of it on the internet. It's a little bit unique. You don't see a lot of people with them. And that might be because of all the drawbacks. There's a lot of drawbacks to the bike. It's not a perfect bike, but just like the other bikes that I picked in this list, they have their sort of pros and cons. They're good at some things, not good at others, right? The KLR is sort of the niche adventure bike that's not really an adventure bike, but it was deemed good enough by NATO to purchase, so there you go. That says something. The Grom, you know, definitely not taking you anywhere far, but it'll take you somewhere. But with the Livewire, you know, one of the biggest drawbacks, the biggest complaints that I hear is the mileage. The mileage. My gosh, the mileage. Yeah, I get that. I get that. And the reason why I don't really pay too much attention to that is, for the most part, I'm a leisure rider. I like to go out on a ride, a day ride, and then come back. You know, I commute. That's pretty much the extent of my riding. And the miles for the Livewire, they don't really publish good solid numbers, but most people are saying that you're getting about 150 on a charge with a steady, like even mix of highway and street riding. So just to remember, on an electric vehicle, range is opposite of a internal combustion. The electric motorcycle, electric vehicles, they do better on low speeds and city speeds. Stop and go traffic is where they perform the best, as opposed to freeway where they perform the worst. So again, keep that in mind. My wife has a Tesla Model 3, and I wanted so much to hate that car. Especially coming from the kind of adrenaline junkie that I am. You know, I want those fast, loud exhaust, you know, powerful cars. You know, if I could have a Ferrari, I would have one. But I was so surprised by how awesome and comfortable that car is. And I think the same thing would happen to me with the Livewire. And that's why I'm willing to, like, give it a shot. So if you know anyone at Harley-Davidson that wants to do, take a chance on a YouTuber with 60 subscribers and really likes electric vehicles, and send them my way. I would love to do a long-term review, I don't know what, with a Livewire. Because I think it would be a great bike. The thing you got to understand about electric vehicles that I think is lost on a lot of people is that there's no maintenance involved. I mean, that's like one of the most incredible things about the Tesla is I don't think I've spent a dime in maintaining that car. Like, not a dime, not even a dime. What's up, man? I don't think I've spent any money in maintenance on my Tesla, and that's why I'd want a Livewire. I think that'd be so awesome to ride around. All right, let's see here. Man, is this just a channel about me going to get food and drink all day long? Got me some Julian apple pie with some ice cream on top. I'm gonna sit back here on the patio, enjoy this, and then we'll get back on the bike. We'll finish up this top 5. I'll finish talking about why I would want a Livewire. And I got a couple honorable mentions that didn't make the list, but are still really cool bikes that I would add to my channel. Catch you in a minute. What's up, man? So those are bikes that I would add. All right. I said I would have some honorable mentions. I got a couple honorable mentions, and they were posed to me by other riders that asked me, you know, what if you did have to get rid of the Low Rider S, the FXLRS? What if it totaled, or, you know, for some other reason, if you had to do it all over again, what would you get? If they never came out with the Low Rider S, what would I get from the new bikes? Okay, my gut tells me to go with the Street Glide. I like the Street Glide. I have friends that have Street Glides. I always enjoy looking at them. I have ridden a couple, and I have to tell you, I did not enjoy it. Not that it wasn't comfortable, not that it wasn't nice. It was all of those things, but it just wasn't my feel. It didn't feel like I was riding a bike. You know, it didn't have that feel for me, so I didn't like it. But if I had to choose, if I had to do it all over again and pick something, what would I pick? It would be the Road King Special. I like it. I like it. It's not perfect. Again, it's not the Low Rider S, but it is right where I like. It's got bags on it. It's utilitarian. It's comfortable, but it's also raw. It's basic. You know, it is that sort of that visceral feeling that you get from riding a motorcycle. That sort of open air, open road right in front of you. You know, you don't have on the Special, you don't have the visor, the windscreen in front of you. It's just all air in your face. And I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people put fairings on their Low Rider S. But I love it. I mean, this breeze up against my face, against my chest. This is why I ride a motorcycle. This is why I do it. It's this. It's a total sensory thing for me. So that's my honorable mention. And then someone also asked me, if not a Harley, if you were not going to get a Harley at that time, what would you have considered? And that one was easy because I did test ride it and I did consider it. And that was the Indian Scout Bobber, but there was just no competition between the Scout Bobber and the Softail Dyno Low Rider S. I mean, there was just not. I considered it just because I'm one of those millennial shoppers that will, you know, try all options, find the best value, but it had to be the Low Rider S. It was perfect for me. All right, well, we're gonna make this right here towards Warner Springs. We're gonna head out to a place called Josie's Hideout. I'm gonna end the ride there. See if we can get a beer or something like that. Other than that, down in the comments section, I want to know your top 5 bikes that you would like to have. Your top 5 bikes you'd like to have. Money's not an option, and you're not replacing your current bike. These are sort of bikes that add to your collection. These are like collector's bikes or something like that. Put those top 5 bikes down below, or comment on my top 5 and tell me what you think. Like, I have terrible taste in bikes, or I'm really spazzy and don't know what I want. That's why I have like these 5 completely different bikes. And they're all completely different from my Harley. I hope that sets the tone for my channel and what I want. I mean, I'm having fun as long as I'm on 2 wheels. So keep that in mind. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the social media stuff that helps me keep making these videos and keeps me in touch with you guys, because this is awesome. I've been having a great time. 2 months almost now, maybe over 2 months, and 60 subscribers. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Catch you on the next one. We're going to Time Warp. Oh man, you won't believe it, but if you made it this far in the video, you're probably one of my hardcore fans, and I really appreciate you. So this is where I drop a second and give you some dad advice, all right? Here's my dad advice for today. Go out of your way and try to find those small businesses around your community. They're hurting and they need help right now, all right?